up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG, Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m., live on Woodward Sports, a show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey. What up, though, people? It's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you all for choosing to kick off this, victory show of sorts with Wake Up Woodward. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, all sports knower, and I saved this one for last. Red Wings correspondent, because I know you got some things to say today.
Yeah, just a couple of brief things, but I see all of you in the chat. I see the Shaquille O'Neal. I see Phil being a dumbass as usual, talking about Riley Greene. We'll get to it. I see you mentioning those stats, Shaquille, and I swear you got this big smile on your face.
Wait. Tigers won another series.
Yeah.
And people are ready to try and hate on some Tigers.
I create haters. I do. I'm like...
Are they the Flannel Bros?
Making a hater. I'm like, call me Stephen Avery, or whatever the hell his name was. Making a hater.
Phil and who else?
The Shaquille O'Neal. He was chirping at me on Twitter like all the damn weekend.
Shaquille O'Neal, are you all Flannel Bros? I gotta know, man. Hey, but tell the people what else we have on the menu today. Obviously, some Tigers, man.
Absolutely, because they deserve it. They took another road series. We've got Justin V-mixing in the very first segment after Around the City to talk about Western Michigan hockey's improbable national championship. If you are following his socials at all, his content was absolutely booming. He was right in the heart of the storm, whether it was pregame, whether it was after the game, when you saw the epic celebrations, and you know that he's here to break down the game as well.
And everything.
Hey, absolutely. It was a heck of a scene and one of the all-time upsets, but that's more for Justin to talk about. But yeah, mostly Tigers, a little bit of Pistons later because their regular season did wrap up. And even though we as fans, we are dialed in for the playoffs. Next Saturday is the first game at New York. But at the end of the day, we still have to appreciate just what this regular season was and just how big of an improvement it was and how great it was.
Yeah, definitely have to. I posted this online, and we'll get to it later, but 30 games, over what they won last season. That almost matches, bro, the 31 wins combined that they had the previous two seasons.
Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. But yeah. I do got to, before we talk a little bit about the Red Wings, I do got to shout out JBSmooovv. I felt bad, JB, because I forgot to do this on the show yesterday.
What's up?
But there is a new Lions show called The Lions Weekly Update Show on Woodward Sports every Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And this has been kind of one of those little brainchild babies of JBSmooovv and other people here, myself. And we finally got this thing kind of off the ground, sputtering just a little bit, the Lions Weekly Update. And it was a really, really good show. It got a really good reception. And I just wanted to make sure we shout out JBSmooovv, who had a big part to do in some of the production. And obviously a lot of the segments and ideas that we've been kind of bantering about for months now. So there was a lot of good comments, a lot of positive comments. Shout out to the role that you've played in that as well, JBSmooovv.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys. Hey, I try to do as much as I can whenever I can. So I'm just happy everything went off smoothly yesterday. And great show. I got to run back and take a look at it to see everything and just to see what else needs to be done, improved upon, and, make a great show for you guys as well, too. So shout out to everybody.
Hey, shout out to you, man. So if you guys didn't, definitely go ahead and after this show, in between this one and Big D Energy, go back and watch it. Terry Foster, Sean Belegian, and our WUW Crew brother, Matthew Broder, on the crew. Willie B was on sounds. And you know what? I was doing my best, JB, in the TD booth. But something that I've been kind of looking forward to this morning, Flannel Sam.
Yes.
Hearing you talk about these Red Wings, especially when I saw what this was titled.
Yeah. All right. So we obviously know that this Red Wings season was a failure. They took a step back. They had their first regression in the Yzerman era, and it's not acceptable. When they were as close as they were last year to make some of the free agent acquisition blunders that they did in the offseason, among other things, keeping Derek Lalonde. We all know what ails this Red Wings team. It was a failure of a season. It was a regression. But I think what we saw, I believe it was Friday night in the Red Wings overtime win at Tampa Bay, you see what I've hung on to all season long as somewhat of hope. And that is Marco Kasper. Because Marco Kasper, he scored 2 goals and had the game winner in overtime. And oh, by the way, this was also the game that put the Red Wings over 80 points to give them at 81. Because I'll tell you what, if the Red Wings had finished this season with 79 points, even though I know these games don't matter really in standings, but if they would have finished this season with 79 points, whereas 2 seasons before they finished with 80, that in and of itself would have damn near been a fireable offense. So it was good to see them get that win. It was good to see Marco Kasper be the offensive MVP. And honestly, he's been one of the bright spots. 18 goals. Actually, he's actually tied with Dylan Larkin in terms of non-power play goals with 16. I don't know if that's a credit to Marco Kasper or an indictment on Dylan Larkin. I believe a little bit of both. Actually has more non-power play goals than Patrick Kane as well. He's been really good for this team, and you're starting to see what he can be as the 2C. And I think that that's going to be his role moving forward, because a lot of the future of the Red Wings and whether or not this Yzer plan is going to work and come to fruition is guys like Marco Kasper. If the Red Wings continue to go on this plan of draft, develop in Grand Rapids and, in Europe and sign, Marco Kasper is going to have to be a dude. Marco Kasper is going to have to be, at worst, maybe your second line center. Obviously, there's ways in which the Red Wings can augment this team, like make a big trade, make a big splash acquisition. But if they want to be that team that just continues to draft and develop and make more tactful free agent signings, Marco Kasper is going to have to be that guy. And what I've seen this year is somebody who could have the makings of a 2C. I think his rookie season was very, very good. Now, moving forward, I want him to become more as a facilitator, because he's going to have to do that if you're on a second line as a center. And also, I want to see him get more usage in the power play moving forward. This was a damn good rookie season, but also I never want to see him with below 40 points again. Not saying that this year was bad by any means. It was great, but he's a rookie. I want to see a leap. I've seen some positive signs from Marco Kasper, and that's one of the few things I can comfortably say was a no-doubt success, Marco Kasper's development.
And I'm glad that you started there with the no-doubt success, because one of the things that I want to talk about, and you kind of piqued my intrigue with this, with your comments on Dylan Larkin before, where do you place his season? Obviously, if there are certain things you could say are no-doubt successes, and we can even say the Todd Father was a success, even though they fell just short of playoffs, we could see his impact on his team right away. And at least they respond to his voice. But with Dylan Larkin, the 1C right now, how are you basically grading this season for Dylan Larkin?
C. Not good enough, but not the problem.
Wrong C.
Yeah. Right. Not good enough, but not the problem. He's going to finish this season with fewer than 70 points. His goal-scoring output will make him look like a power play merchant. And I feel the same way about Lucas Raymond, for the record. You know that I've been on record with this. It wasn't good enough. Was it bad? No. But was he significantly less productive than the previous 2 seasons? Yes, he was. So Dylan Larkin, given his expectations, I think he fell short, which is the difference between him and Marco Kasper. This was Marco Kasper's first real NHL action, and I think he acclimated himself pretty well. And as his role began to increase, so did his production as well. I think he's somebody who was terribly misused by Derek Lalonde earlier in the season, but once he started getting some run on the first line as a forward and then later on as the second line center, he started to get better, and you've seen glimpses of what he can be. So that's why Dylan Larkin's season was not up to par, and I think Marco Casper's season was.
Yeah, and you're still confident for the outlook on a Dylan Larkin.
Depending on how you want it.
Because it's an interesting conversation, especially when you're talking about the future of the Detroit Red Wings. We know how much, when you look at the winning, how much of this depended on that 1C being a guy. And right now that guy's in the front office. And I do. Sometimes I wonder, as much as we like Dylan Larkin, as much as we love that the story of him being from home, as much as we've seen him be, like you said, give him a C grade. I saw someone else in the chat, Dante151, give him a C minus. It's serviceable. Yeah. It's average. But when we're talking about taking that next step, that's where I wonder, to be a fly on the wall of Stevie Y when you're making these decisions about what comes next? Or is it just a situation where you have to add more around them and then we see this thing flip overnight like we saw with Cade Cunningham and the Pistons?
I mean, why I bring up Marco Casper is that's an element of it, because if you give him if the second line is more effective and more productive, like honestly, if the Red Wings got more production from their second line center, whoever it was throughout the year, whether it was Andrew Kopp in spurts, whether it was Marco Casper to end the year, this team would have probably been in the playoffs. Dylan Larkin doesn't have to be a 90 or 95 point guy or anything like that. If there's better around him, if the Red Wings were to make a type of Mitch Marner move, I think that Dylan Larkin could be an effective 1C, for example. If Marco Casper can be somebody who eventually can put up Dylan Larkin type numbers, which maybe he can, then Dylan Larkin can be a 1C on a playoff team. I was disappointed in the year he had. I'm not saying that it's all his fault, but he needed to be better. He would tell you that. And hopefully next year, I expect a point a game. Nothing more, nothing less.
I know we're talking hockey. We got that dude Justin on the line for the next segment. But you know what, man? You got a lot more support on this thing than I thought you would have. And chat family, I want to know where your confidence lies with Dylan Larkin. So 2 things here. Your confidence in him as a 1C going forward, as well as your grade for Dylan Larkin this season. We already got a C minus grade in the chat from Dante151. And as it relates to the confidence of him, Ed Catelius, he actually doesn't believe that Dylan Larkin is a number 1 center on other playoff teams.
I mean, that's where, and I can't kill you for that right now based off the season that he just had, but that's where he's somebody who needs to be insulated more than he is. And what does that tell you about Dylan Larkin? It tells you that he's somewhat limited, but he's not bad by any means. He was a point-a-game guy the last couple of years, and I think that would have been good enough this year, but he didn't provide it. And, hey, speaking of hockey, though, we got to talk to that dude Justin on the other side of the break, talking about Western Michigan. But before we go to break, I got to shout out my guy Willie B. Ran into him on Saturday night. When me and my wife were going to the Jack White concert, I saw Willie B down there, and it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Hey, I gotta work. You know what I mean? I pop up. And I said, "Oh man, Sammy in the building." I had to pop up, man. It was all love, man. When I see one of you guys, so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot packed house. I had to do a Cat Williams / rock concert next door to Jack Williams. So I'm like, man, it was crazy. But man, the traffic. All I gotta say, man, some of you folks need to start driving crazy when we patrolling. We try to get you out just like everybody else. Try to go home. But man, they was like speeding with traffic. I said, let me get out.
Hey, man, yeah. So you were seeing WUW Crew the whole weekend because, obviously Justin, he was going to be in this weekend. But because of the great coverage we're going to break down, he stayed in Kalamazoo, and he crushed it. And you were able to get in here and pitch in with sounds for the show, the Lions show as well. So shout out to you, man.
Appreciate it.
And shout out to that dude, Justin. We're talking about glazing people for what they've done to help this network and honestly help to boost Detroit sports in this great state of Michigan. Justin crushed it.
He did.
We're going to hear from him soon.
Absolutely, we are. But KG, tell us about Mad Packs.
I will tell you about Mad Packs. Shout out to the good people over at Mad Packs. You know they got mad love for Woodward Sports, and we reciprocate that. So, KG, hey, I know it is, man. Just hold your horses now, goddammit. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand. Partnering with Woodward Sports is early, so you know what that means. I'm gonna be feeling good all day long, all week long, all month long, and all year long. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High-low is getting you high for the low, because who don't like that? Delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka.
Let's go.
Hey, it's a live resin infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard packs, THCA, moon rocks that hit like a blizzard. Updates coming next month. Stay tuned to Woodward Sports for all of those updates.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor, scan that QR code on screen, use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, it'll go right back into your account with no questions asked. Hey, if you bet on the Tigers yesterday, guess what? That 20 is right back into your account to do it again today. Scan that QR code on screen, use code word Woodward1000, and make some money today.
Make some money. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. And you know what? I'm pretty fired up for this segment. I did my best to wear a little bit of black, and I guess it's tan, but we can call it Western Michigan Bronco Gold today.
Yeah.
Because they did something pretty big, man. And Justin was kind of on the scene for this entire run that they made. That dude, Justin, you guys might know him from the WUW Crew, does a lot for the social team here at Woodward Sports. And his coverage is already well over 500,000 engagement across all social platforms. It's already over 750,000 engagements across all social platforms, and it is approaching 1 million. And to be able to see his passion on full display, I can't wait to hear about it. That dude, Justin. What up, though, brother?
Hey, it's great to be
Proud
here,
of you,
guys.
man.
Hey,
Shout out,
guys, let me
Justin.
lead you in our chant real quick to lead this off. So it goes, let's go Broncos. Let's go Broncos. All right.
Shout
Let's
out.
talk about
Hey, you deserve that one, man.
Wow. All right, sorry. A little bit of a whirlwind. Yesterday, the team got back, and they told the entire school that we're going to be hanging out outside. We're going to have a campfire. You can come take pictures of the trophy. You can come hang out with the team and chat with them. I was talking to their goalie, Cameron Rowe, for a while, and Alex Bump. They're great guys. We're just so welcoming to everyone who was there. JB, if you want to pull up the picture, I signed a picture of me with the championship trophy in WUW Slack, and it's so unbelievable, the atmosphere around Kalamazoo right now. Everyone is so in tune with this team. They showed up at campus around 3 o'clock yesterday, and there was probably at least 1,000 people waiting outside the rink, waiting for them, cheering for them, and they came back. People were handing them fake champagne to, there we go. At the arena, and as soon as they got on the mic to talk to everybody, the captain Tim Washy got on the mic and was telling everyone this is because of you, thank you Broncos Nation, and the reception that they were getting from everybody. It's a special time to be in Kalamazoo. This is our first national championship since 1965, and that was in cross country.
Yeah, and you got this with a 6-2 victory over Boston University.
Yes, and I was talking to Cameron Rowe about that, and he was telling us, he was like, we came out in first period, we were so strong, we felt like we were dominating the game. The second period, we kind of fluctuated a little bit and gave them a little bit of life, but in every game this tournament and in the NCHC tournament, Cameron Rowe told me that they just continued to get stronger and stronger throughout the game. And once the game was in the third period, that they knew the game was theirs every single time. They are coached in such a condition by Freshweiler that they are such a team and they're so cohesive as a unit. That's what makes them so special, and it would help them win this championship.
Hey, so Justin, and I understand that you mentioned first national championship since 1965 in any sport, and it was cross country, but relative even to where they landed in the tournament, just how improbable and how amazing was this run? Is it something that you can even put into words?
And for the university, no, you can't, because this is a small school, a school that couldn't even imagine winning a national title, especially in a major force sport like hockey, where this program has been built from the ground up, given the resources of the elite universities around college hockey. As soon as Freshweiler showed up, and he has gone on to talk about the new facilities. I was talking about the players, about the facilities next year, and they are brand new rink in downtown Kalamazoo. They're going to shuttle students there, which was a big concern for the students, and it was just so perfect. I don't know how else to describe this whole situation. Sorry, I was
gonna say, I know you've got no rest, bro. You covered this thing.
You've been all go,
24
brother.
hours a day for the last 2 or 3 days, man. And you were on one, and not just then. You covered the other ones. I remember you told me hey, Kool-Aid, I didn't know this was gonna happen, but I gotta be there to cover this thing, and just to see just how impactful it was. I do have to ask you this question here. You guys are in a state where Michigan hockey, Michigan State hockey, they for a long time, as well as some of our friends up north as well, they have a lot to say about hockey in this state. Western Michigan, how confident are you about the impact that this will have for the future of Western Michigan continuing to be a power in the state of Michigan and college hockey overall?
This is massive. You will never see a more impactful national championship around college hockey. To win it at a school like Western Michigan is so different than winning it at a school like Michigan. If you won it at Michigan or Michigan State, yeah, it'd be celebrated, but not in the way that it is here at Western Michigan and what it means to these students. I was explaining it to this girl that there are hundreds of thousands of people that have been to this university between 1965 and now, and you're here to witness a national championship, and not even just a national championship in a Big Four sport with millions of people as an audience. It's just something that doesn't come around very often, and to be here for that was just extremely special, and it's just going to improve what they already have going on. They have invested in this facility that they have here at Western. Like I said, they have a new rink, which is coming with brand new practice facilities. They're state-of-the-art. They traveled all across the country, taking ideas and improving those ideas to make the new Western Michigan building the best building in all of college hockey. And that's only going to intensify after they win this championship. The NIL money will get better. This is bringing eyes to the program. They already are one of the best spending NIL programs in the country. And now they're going to be able to utilize that. This team was built primarily through the transfer portal. There are some key returners, but they would not have won it without their two key transfer portal pickups, and Hampton Skalinski and his brother Grant. They both were critical in this run, and so this team is set up for sustained success for the next couple of years.
Love to hear you paint that picture, Justin. Give me the hockey reasons as to what made this team special and why they were able to ultimately win the Frozen Four and defeat BU in the national championship game.
Well, they do all the little things right. They do everything that you need to do to be a good hockey team. They get pucks out, they get pucks deep, they don't turn the puck over, they play great defense, they play as a team, they play physical, they never let you know that they're out of the game. Even when they were pushing off comebacks by teams during this tournament, they always were able to come through in the end, even after blowing a few leads. They still, in the overtime, they knew that they had it. Cameron Rowe, when I talked to him, was continuously saying, like, we knew we had it. As soon as we won the NCHC against Denver, we knew that we were going all the way. We were winning the whole thing, and they all knew it. And it was so funny because my buddy, one of them I interviewed, shout out Michael Stein, he was like, it's going to be 3-2 in overtime. And the players actually saw that video before the game, and they saw him at the party last night, and he was like, in overtime? Are you serious? You didn't think we had that? And so they were chirping him and giving him some ish because they picked the game to go to overtime. And it's just, this team is just, they're so, like, their best player, Alex Bump, didn't have a point the entire tournament. And when your best player doesn't have a point in the entire tournament and you still win the tournament, that just shows how deep this team is, how good this team is, how they are not relying on one guy. It's an entire roster. And then the great goaltending, they let up like just over 2 goals per game in the entire tournament, which is absolutely unreal, especially when you are scoring well over 3 goals a game. So this team's just so deep. They're so dynamic. They can score from anywhere. They were getting contributions from everywhere. Owen Michael stepped up. He had four points in the last two games, including 2 goals in the championship game and in the semifinal game and the game winner. So, I mean, it's so hard to like really put everything in words because there's just been so much going on this entire weekend, and it's just been awesome to truly be fully involved at something this big at this size of university.
And you know what, man? You covered this in a way, Justin, that I haven't seen anybody. And there was other media there, but you absolutely captured this thing, and you saw it take off like wildfire all across social media because you were ground level. You're getting reactions right away from different people that you're around, seniors, freshmen, supporters, people new to it, and just capturing the moment, man, from the pregame to the absolute bedlam. And I've been in something like that before when Maryland beat Duke basketball a long time ago, and it wasn't as big as this. But what I know is this: to capture that amount of content that well amongst all of that, I just wanted to ask you, was there anybody you wanted to shout out or throw any special thanks to? Because it looked like you were putting a force all of the different principles. It looked like you even had boots on the ground at the arena and such too. Well covered, and a great job by you running point on that, man.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely want to shout out Carson Langer. He was my friend who was at the game. He was sending me videos and stuff. And also Jackson Hammerschmidt, shout out to him. He's the head of the Lawson Lunatics. He was in St. Louis. He is the equivalent of who runs Maze Rage at Western Michigan. And he was also sending me videos from St. Louis. So shout out to him as well. Shout out to all my friends. They were really supportive in my ventures of getting content. A lot of friends in the new age are very like, oh, like he's trying to be an influencer. He's trying to make content. And so I appreciate them for not doing that. And they're all supportive and they're all like cheering me on while I'm taking interviews and stuff. So like to have that kind of support from my friends is huge. My family, obviously. My mom and my dad. My mom actually is a Boston University Terrier, and she was actually happy that we won because she would rather see me happy than for her university to win. So shout out to my mom, and just shout out to their entire team. They're like last night going to meet them and just talking some hockey and talking about the run with some of the guys. Like they were just so welcoming. They were so kind. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to be letting people take pictures with the trophy. They didn't have to be, talking to everybody. They could have had a private party or something like that, but they just wanted to feel like the roots of Kalamazoo in their own backyard. And it was just so special. Like I can't imagine any other university truly being able to do that and having that type of intimate event where you're all celebrating, but it's not like it's insane and it's like shutting down a street how it was when we were actually celebrating the win. It was just a nice like cap to an amazing weekend.
Man, that's awesome to hear, and I can hear your passion. Now it's time for you to go get some rest. I know you still social stuff too, and school, man. Just continue to crush it, bro. We do miss you in studio, but I am so happy for you to have these types of opportunities, and with how you work and the brotherhood, man, we can't wait to have you back here.
Yeah, I can't wait to be back, but the work doesn't stop. Tonight there's a University pep rally at the basketball arena that I gotta go to, gotta capture content, and then later this week keep on the lookout. I have some interviews with some players that I've set up already with Alex Bump, Owen Michaels, and Cameron Rowe. So keep on the lookout for that. More Western Michigan hockey content from the national championship will be coming through when I set up all the stuff when I talk to you later, Kool-Aid.
Hey, dope, man. Well, you know what, man? We love you, brother. Continue to crush it, both in the media game as well as in school. And you know what, man? Just keep being the good person that you are.
Thank you, guys. I love you all, WUW Crew. Appreciate you guys, and shout out chat. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Shout out, bro.
Shout out, Justin, man.
Big D energy.
Yes, indeed.
I'm in there like swimwear. Come on.
Hey, talk your shit.
Right here.
Hey, that I must see TV right now. But yeah, thank you, Justin. You're the man.
All right. I'll see you guys. Have a great day.
Peace out,
See
man.
you, Justin.
Goodness gracious.
And
I
should have done this with him on. But just another quick plug of all the other things he's doing. Woodward Wings as well.
Shameless plug.
Hey,
know,
check
right?
that out. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. And oh, by the way, speaking of shameless plugs, this last video we put out, our best performing one so far. So thank you guys.
Nice.
My boy's growing.
all the
Best wings
content,
coverage
man.
in the state.
It's
Tap
dope.
in.
Because that's what I love right now is how the weekend content is really starting to settle in, and it's with some people who I believe are truly the heart of what we got going on right now. From ringside, shout out to the tag teams,
Appreciate
champions of the world with KG and JBSmooovv, and Flannel Sam. Took on a lot, as it relates to spearheading this Red Wings coverage and the Red Wings stuff with Woodward Wings. So, shout out to the guys, man, and what they're doing, and again, another shout out to JB for. We worked hard on this thing. We had to push back the start, and Terry, Sean Belegian, and Broder, they crushed it, man. And I look forward to where all of this content's going to go. And again, Wings was the first one, and Ringside were the first ones up, man. So shout out to you guys for being pioneers in this.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you as well. And speaking of thank you to the Tigers for winning another series.
Hey,
We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. We're going to start first with the positive, because a series win on the road is a positive. I promise you we'll get to the Riley Greene stuff. I promise. I promise.
Got to defend your mans.
Well, I can't always defend what can't be defended, but we'll talk about that later. But let's talk about Feldman. Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevrolet dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. They got deals of the month. You can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab for just $199 a month. You can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Planet Fitness, fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you, chat family, for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. Let's go ahead and run up those likes because, you know what, I know that they lost their last game, but they did win the series on the road against the Twins. In this one, it was a little bit different. There was some pitching that I liked in the middle of the series, and then some pitching that we probably question a little bit more to start and to end the series. I still, though, expect the Detroit Tigers in these next two series before they play the Padres, so that is the Brewers and the Royals, to win these series and handle their business in large part for what we've seen them be, even in that Dodgers series, man. But we got to talk about this one here. They do lose 5-1 to the Twins yesterday, but overall they did win the series against the Twins. What's your overall takeaway from these Tigers after this Twins series?
Well, all right, so for the purpose of this first segment, I'm going to go all positive, as I said that I would. You guys can if you want. Willie B's giving it a C+ grade. I think that's a little bit harsh considering they won a series on the road, but that's
definitely a little harsh.
Against a division opponent,
it gotta be, you know what I mean?
I give him a B+.
B+? Okay, I do it. I do it.
We'll talk about it.
They handle their business.
Yeah, I mean, 2 out of 3.
My man Flanders over there like
people.
I'm the most positive.
Right.
Because in Major League Baseball, it's not about winning every game. It's about winning series. Because even the worst teams in Major League Baseball are going to lose like 55 to 60 times. It just happens. Things happen. It's on the road. So I've got kind of 3 tiers of takeaways. I'll go with Friday, Saturday, and then overall. Let me start with Friday. Friday, my biggest takeaway is that the Tigers' situational hitting. A blistering 6 of 14 with runners in scoring position. I love the fact, too, that they got down. They gave up some runs in the bottom of the 5th to go down 4-1, but then scored 4 in the top of the 6th to give them a lead, which they would not relinquish. I got to shout out Gleyber Torres with a couple of hits, Zach McKinstry with a couple of RBIs, Dylan Dingler going 3 for 5 with an RBI to continue on.
Yes. It's a real thing.
No, you're going
to be saying that all year.
He is having a great year. If they were giving away all-stars for the first 15 games, Dylan Dingler might be on it, and I'm dead serious, by the way. Trey Sweeney had an RBI. Colt Keith had a couple of hits and an RBI as well. That's something, obviously, with the Tigers that plagued them in the Dodgers series, but in game 1 against the Twins, it was that situational hitting. Like 6 of 14 with runners in scoring position is insane. That's almost 500. If you do that, you're going to win. You're going to score a lot of runs. So that was my biggest Friday takeaway.
Definitely. What I got to ask you about the series overall is just how do you, because you got me thinking over here, Willie B. What is your grade for the series, man, overall?
B+.
Yeah.
And speaking of guys who deserve better than a B+, how about our guy Jackson Jobe?
Went out there and pitched a gem.
Absolutely.
Like the pitching in the middle of this
Absolutely, he did. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And here's what I liked about this outing from Jackson Jobe is that he was inducing a ton of weak contact, and he wasn't walking anybody, which kept his pitch count low. He probably could have went out for the 7th if he wanted to. But honestly, with the way that they're slow playing him, I don't think he's going to have too many starts where he goes 6, but he went 6 the other night, just flawless, showed a lot of the good stuff that got him to be the got him to be the first round pick. And I'll tell you what, this Tigers pitching staff,
damn good.
You want to talk about just overall stuff? Mm-hmm. You've got guys like with Jackson Jobe, who's got a high ceiling. You got Spencer, Tarek Skubal, who is already won a Cy Young. Casey Mize, who was a 1-1. Jack Flaherty, who's had Cy Young caliber seasons with the Cardinals and having a phenomenal year with the Tigers. Numbers dipped a little bit when he went with the Dodgers, but Jackson Jobe absolutely deserves his flowers for Game 2. Flawless performance. If he can continue to give you more of that, it's over.
Hey, and don't forget Reese Olsen, Mr. Consistency. Yeah. He's been one of the more consistent pitchers in your lineup, and you seem like you have a 1 through 5 threat that on any given day, no matter who you're going against, you might have the pitching advantage in damn near every game. And that's one thing that you love to see with this team. And if Jackson Jobe keeps pitching efficiently like he did the other night, I could see him going out there and going 6 a majority of the season, because that's what you wanted to see. We all know he got the swing and miss strikeout stuff, but for him to go out there and be that efficient with the pitches that he had, it was great.
You want him to be like dependably consistent at the very least. It's almost like the Rick Porcello of it all. When you're in this type of a lineup,
a little better, but
a little bit better. But to be dependable, effectively be consistent, to know what you're going to get, especially when this lineup is going out there and getting you probably a few more runs per game than we really expected to see this early in the season. Because I know we're going to talk about a couple different players, and I do have my take in the next segment on effectively. I'm not too concerned. I expect in baseball for players to heat up over the course of a season, and it's kind of held that true to the test of time in the sport of baseball. But one player who has not really needed to heat up at all, Spencer Torkelson. Yeah. He found himself in the scores sheet of each one of the games during the this twin series.
He's a changed man.
No, he 100% is.
This is a complete there's got to be a whole completely different term than just changed man, because he's just this is a completely different individual, bro.
No, Spencer Torkelson. What I love to see from him was, let's start with Game 4. Game 4. I forgot who was on the mound. It's not really important. Gave him just a hanger of all hangers slider, and Spencer Torkelson just obliterated it. In yesterday's game, for unfortunately the only run of the game, Spencer Torkelson just got a meatball fastball that he just deposited into the left field bleachers.
He
was pimping it too. He's not just.
Let him pop his shit though.
He's not.
He performing. Let him pop his shit.
Absolutely. He's not just hitting home runs. There's a reason why they call them torque bombs, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Obviously, we got on him a lot for last year, and rightfully so. But even throughout the beginning of his career, which was up and down, mostly down, besides for that stretch late in the season in 2022, Spencer Torkelson hit some of the most prodigious bombs I've ever seen at Comerica Park, the types that make you gasp. And right now, the fact that through 15 games, not only is he hitting the torque bombs, but do you want a power stat when it comes to Spencer Torkelson?
Yes.
Spencer Torkelson is second in the whole bleeping American League in OPS. Whew. There is one person he is behind. Can you guess?
Aaron Judge.
Yes.
I mean, the most obvious.
It's Aaron Judge and Spencer Torkelson at the top of the American League OPS list.
Holy shit.
That's incredible. He is... If the season were to end after 15 games, he'd probably win the American League MVP, and that's not hyperbole. That's absolutely not hyperbole.
I love it. You know what, KG? Hey, talk to me just real quick about Spencer Torkelson, and we're going to have JBSmooovv clean up these super chats, because it's going crazy right now. We're already at a merch giveaway.
I think we know who gets the giveaway.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, big shout out to my man in Toronto in the 6, bro. We rock with you, but I mean, what more can be said about Torkelson at this point? If all my people that, I never gave up on Tor, good for you, bro, because last year wasn't this. It wasn't near this. And when you saw him at the plate last year, there was a lot of times that he went up there and he looked absolutely shell-shocked. That is not the case this year. And you can literally see it. Like when you watch some of his at-bats, you can see some of the adjustments, even on like fastballs and stuff like that. This guy has learned how to, I don't know, like he's seeing pitching a little bit better, and he has adjusted his mechanics to be able to, adjust mid-swing if he has to. And he has gone out there and just absolutely obliterated the baseball. If he's not performing like this Tigers team doesn't sit in first place right now. They're not 9-6. He is a big reason for this, good start to the season. So, man, if he can just continue to go out there and provide that source of power, I feel like he's already kind of locked down that first base spot. There's no question now that that's probably going to be Torque's spot for the rest of the year, because even defensively, he's looked a little bit better. You just want him to continue to improve, but, man, you already know I was real critical of Torque. So, everything he's doing this year, I'm chirping up the other way.
Which is fine, though. But it's not like anybody here said punt him to the moon. We weren't on Killian terms. Nobody on the show was. Even you said, look, I just got to see more. But are we in a position where we could depend on him right now?
And I didn't feel like you were.
And you said it. You said it. A lot of other people said it despite the criticism. Go out there and improve more. Do more. Same thing that we were talking about with Jalen Duren. And it was like, do you want to see him gone? No, but is there more for him to prove right now? Yes. And he stepped to the podium and said it. Spencer Torkelson, he took the assignment. He came back and he looked decent. You could tell, okay, he's looking like he's at least figuring out something mentally at the plate. Regressed just slightly as the playoffs went on, and then started off this season hot, which means there was something that this coaching staff helped with, things that he was working on, and things that they knew he had figured out before the season even began, for them to have this type of confidence in knowing he's going to be the guy. And he is proving them right now as a guy who he had the tools. We know how high he was picked, and right now he is proven that, it was worth, at least for this part of it, taking that chance on him.
And shout out to Rando Smalls, because you were pounding the Torque train.
For the ones that was, hey.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Because like, some Torque victory lappers are getting on my nerves a little bit, because there was really no shame in writing off somebody who got sent to the minors. But I do believe that I directly mocked Rando Smalls in response to his Torque belief before the season. So for that, I give you credit. You had more foresight than I do. Well done. Glad you're right. Glad I was wrong.
But once again, I go back to the point that it was not just us. The organization literally came out in the media and said we need more from Torkelson. Sure. So they put that pressure on him as well. So to see him respond like this, it's been great, bro. Like they took a chance, and it's worked to this point. And this further helps the case for a guy like Scott Harris, who is the unofficial GM of this team, that if he puts belief in somebody and he doesn't want to go out and pay a guy, maybe we should start respecting that, because so far so good with Torque, man. It's worked out beautifully.
He is earning that trust in Scott Harris that we give the trust in Brad Holmes for the Lions. He's earning that right now.
Yeah.
Especially after the last trade deadline. You remember how many people overreacted, including one Ben Verlander in the national media perspective. And then look at how it paid certain dividends. Look how it's going to pay dividends this year. And then the player came right back to the Tigers. That, to me, is culture. Mm-hmm. That, to me, proves, though, that there is also something more here than this team just sitting on their hands. And you know what? If you're going to have the wallet a little bit closed up, then I'm at least okay that you got guys here like Fetter. You got A.J. Hinch. You got Scott Harris. You have people who understand how to operate in situations like that, and they're proving it right now. For the things that people want to say about Al Avila, maybe he understood how to do certain things good. So people want to talk about his players. But as it related to working with an owner who is no longer going to just fund whatever you brought to his table, that to me is a little bit different. And I think that that's where you falter. So it's like seeing that we at least got this group who's made the playoffs now, being able to kind of overcome that. I actually appreciate what they're doing, despite, even if there are certain things we would rather see them do differently here, there, or other. I do believe they're earning that kind of trust in Harris, trust in Hinch.
They made the playoffs last year, and they're so far first in their division, and I believe they've won every series since they got swept.
Yeah,
and that's unbelievable. But JB, since you guys have been on your game today, can you clean up the super chats? It might take a minute, but thank you guys.
It's going to take a minute, but shout out to everyone sending in super chats once again. Got to start off with the big dog, $69.99, paying for them new releases. Elicio. Lalanage just sent in that. He also sent in another $6.99 as well, too. He said, LFG, send me my merch with a couple laughing emojis beside.
Give him the email, Kool-Aid.
Right. Give him the email already.
Send him a second shirt. You get 2 shirts, bro.
You win.
We got maybe we'll get him a shirt and hat combination. He is in Canada, so maybe we can get him that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
All right, yeah.
Kool-Aid at WUWsports.com. Email me.
For another 50, I'll road trip it to you. I'm just saying. I got it enhanced. I can head over.
I've never been to Canada, so I need to take that road trip too.
Never? Wait, what?
I didn't move to Detroit till I was 26. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. He got his excuse.
I have a passport, so just as good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, good.
You have to do something.
Group trip, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Group trip, I'm down for that. Shout out to Nobody sending in $2 as well too. Another series win for the Tigers. Go Stones, go Lions. Dante 151
Shout out Nobody.
499 said, "Can we say that Stevie needs to find better free agents in goaltending and defensemen because what we have right now is not going to cut it at all?" What do you guys think?
You are absolutely correct. It is not cutting it. That's the bigger reason as any why the Red Wings are sitting at home in the playoffs.
Yep.
But,
Shout out Dante.
Shout out Dante once again. Randall Smalls, $5.
Shout out Randall.
Who gave you all your love for hockey? Thank you, Uncle Eddie. You gave me my love for the game I could never play. Shout out to Uncle Eddie as well too. Flannel, who gave you your love for hockey?
Who gave me my love for hockey?
Yeah.
Honestly, that one was probably as organic as can be because my dad, he's a big like baseball, basketball, football guy in terms of like the history of everything. That's where I got all this wealth of knowledge that I have from. But hockey, it just came with the territory of liking sports and just liking hockey as well.
Yeah, I loved all things Detroit, but with hockey in particular, my mom worked for one of their sponsors, HAP, back in the day, and the other one, there was another one as well, and they had the Snoopy logo and all of that. I forget what it was.
MetLife.
Yeah, MetLife and all that, and they had sponsorships and all that, and so my mom would take me, and I loved hoops culture, but when I saw this stuff and like the sea of red and white coming down from everywhere off the people mover down the block, walking up the big stairs, sometimes out octopus up top there, it's like then walking in, that goal horn and just seeing everybody go just ape crazy, man. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And so that, the Red Wings at that current time were just on a heater. They were just starting to get to that point where they were winning trophies. And then the Mighty Ducks as well. I gotta be honest with you. Mighty Ducks got me into it, man.
Throwback.
Classic.
Will forever live in my sports Hall of Fame.
We got more, JB?
Oh, yeah, we definitely got more. This one I got to treat like I'm doing a promo. I got to turn into Jacob Fatu on this one.
Oh, okay.
He said $5 from Burn. He said from Muskegon to Benton Harbor to Battle Creek to Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Western Michigan did West Michigan proud. Hey, Western Michigan dog walked y'all, boy.
Right. Hey, yada yada me. Yada yada me.
They actually did, though. Shout out JB for that. That was
shout out that also Burn sent another $5 in as well too. He gave the Tiger Series A minus. It's hard to sweep, even harder on the road, and even harder against a division rival on the road. Just keep stringing series wins. It's only April.
That's all you got to do. And I know the Twins aren't good and they're having a terrible start to the year.
Who cares?
And Carlos Correa looks like ass right now, and Byron Buxton, Royce Lewis got hurt again. Byron Buxton looks like he's not good and probably going to get hurt again. But at the end of the day, it is the Twins. It's a series. It's a series.
Take into account they were supposed to lose that first game. So for them to come back and win that game and then follow up with a 4-0 after that, that's all you could ask for.
Because we heard this with the Pistons all year, man. Oh, well, who have they beat? Who have they beat? I don't know. 44 people. Bro.
Right. Exactly.
Like that's why I'm like, look, these Tigers. Everybody on this panel was more bullish about them this season than we were last season, though we still came into this year with some major question marks. Man, Lala Nas wasting no time. We're going to get that hooked up for you, man. I see the email. But you know what? Let's get to this next break because I as good as they're doing right now, I believe that some of these people we're going to talk about, I have no concern.
Some of these people, there's one in particular, but
one in particular.
But
haters.
Hey, well, I'll say this: I have no concern about Casey Mize, but I know we have somebody else we're going to talk about,
and you definitely shouldn't. If anybody has concerns about Casey Mize based off of nobody does, nobody does. But merch. Hey,
Alicio's getting hooked up with some merch right now. Indeed, head over to WoodwardSports.com. All you got to do is click on that shop tab. We got new designs for you every single week. Once again, let me tell you about the ones up on screen. We got the Woodward Tigers, which you should be wearing and supporting proudly. entering Comerica Park. Go over to WoodwardSports.com. Hook yourself up with some of that as well, too. And the LFG Red Wings t-shirts and hoodies still available. They didn't get it done, but you know what? They're still our team. We still got to support them as much as we can. WoodwardSports.com. All you got to do is click on that shop tab.
Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Jars Cannabis. Jars is home to Michigan's large line of recreational cannabis products. 27 locations across the state, 9 alone in Metro Detroit. Don't fear, however, if you live in Madison Heights, Grand Rapids, or Milan, Michigan, stores are popping up. Is it Milan? See, I always keep on doing it.
It's Milan.
Is it Milan?
It's an inside joke on Big D Energy.
Anyway, the stores are popping up your way very, very soon. If you don't have time to go and check them out in store, look at all the products they have online at jargecannabis.com. Because you know what? I know you want to get high.
Read my mind, Jay.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. You know what? Before we get into this one, let's just go ahead and satisfy that like button. Let's set the mood real quick. Make sure the vibes are right. Because I do wonder. I just wonder. There might be some people in the chat who have things to say. There might be people up here on this desk who have things to say.
Yeah. What type of mood are we setting? Is it the bang, 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 or is it the slow? Is it the slow jam? Let me know where we're going here.
Let's get aggressive, man.
Let's get aggressive, man. Energy. Well, listen, y'all know what time it is, man. Pistons playoff time right around the corner. So go ahead and slam that phone on the bed and tap that like button multiple times. I mean, you could be a little rough. She like it a little rough every now and
yeah.
Willie B.
Yo. Willie B from the top rope with the Trey Songz drop.
Jealousy, man. That's that KC and JoJo right here.
You know what? Right?
Hey, shout out to Alicio once again, too. He sent in another $6.99.
My dog.
He said, come to Toronto. Let's hit the strip, fellas.
I'm going to have to.
4 hours away. You know what?
I'm going to have to.
What do you think, man?
I mean, yeah, honestly, I kind of want to get to a Blue Jays game anyway. I mean, why not? Try to visit as many ballparks as I can. Maybe a Raptors next year.
Let's do it.
Maybe a Boo Scotty Barnes.
Take over here.
WUW Crew on vacation.
You know you're on to something, Flannel.
Toronto?
Golly.
I probably won't come back to Detroit if I go to Toronto.
We're going to lose.
Have you been there before?
Yes, I did.
What have you done in Toronto?
I went to Toronto in 2014, and you get choose. You don't.
He's looking around.
You get choose.
Hold on.
Willie,
why are you looking over your shoulder, bro? What happened in Toronto?
All I gotta say is, I didn't approach the women. The women over there are fine as hell. They friendly as hell, and you approach. They look at you like a steak. And they approach you. You approach them. I said, I don't want to go back to America. They real about that shit. And they fine as hell too.
I'm staying over here. They look at you like a steak, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Oh shit.
I said I don't want to go back.
Hey, Big Willie single, y'all. Just keep that in mind. My boy is single as hell, bro. So make sure y'all get out here.
7 Eyes, the married men of the crew, man. Well, all of us, man. We will be strong, man.
We will
be.
I know, man.
Hey, you got built-in wingmen, dude.
You do, for real. I can help you in your ventures, absolutely. So,
I understand that most definitely.
Willie be the boss, man. He running.
I'm smooth.
I don't think he need no help though. Willie be smooth as they come.
Always.
Smooth as they go. You know what, man?
He's a lover.
Riley Greene.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who have a lot of things to say about him, and it's largely due to the start to the season. 233 batting average, 3 home runs, some of which have played some crucial roles for them, 5 RBIs, 720 OPS. In a little bit of a bad slump right now at the plate, but what's your level of concern for our all-star Riley Greene?
I mean, long-term, not high, I'll say that. But Riley Greene is without a doubt in the worst slump of his career. I even went back because I'm so befuddled by it, even looking back and seeing if he ever had a stretch this bad at any point in his career, and he really hasn't. This is the worst 6-game stretch of his life. 1 for his last 23, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk. That's something, if you want to talk about something that's concerning even for the totality of the season, it's the fact that Riley Greene's walk rate has dropped dramatically. That was something where he was the best on the team last year. This is one of the reasons why I always loved him so much, even going back to his injury-shortened first couple of years, was the man knew how to get on base. The man had the best approach at the plate on the entire team. But so far this year, he just hasn't really put it together. He looks lost. He's missing mistakes. He's striking out in damn near half of his at-bats. It's bad. Right now, it's bad. But at the end of the day, I attribute this more to just an early season slump because the first 9 games of the year, he was lights out. He was an 1,000 OPS guy. He was a big reason why the Tigers offense, like maybe the biggest, him or Torque, reason why the Tigers offense was so good at the beginning of the year. One of the biggest reasons why the Tigers were able to win the Mariners series and sweep the White Sox series. It's just ever since then, it seems to have fallen off the cliff, off a cliff. But the way that I look at it is that as much as we love Spencer Torkelson and love what he's done, I don't think he's going to have an OPS over the totality of the season of over 1,000.
No.
If he does, I would be the happiest person to be wrong on earth because that means the Tigers are probably winning 90 games. Still don't think it's going to happen.
That means Torque is a star in this league.
Right. Then he's an actual MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And I don't think either that Dylan Dingler is going to finish the season with an OPS over 900. I don't think Zach McKinstry is going to finish this season with an OPS over 800. The reason I bring that up is the Tigers, those are the guys right now that are picking up Riley Greene when he's down. If the Tigers were 6-9 instead of 9-6, I'd probably be a little bit more concerned. But I just attribute this more to the ebbs and flows of the season. There's going to be a time where Torque slumps. There's going to be a time where Dingler slumps. There's going to be a time where McKinstry slumps. Gleyber Torres as well. And I would like to think, and I think there's evidence to support my claim, that Riley Greene will pick this team up in times when a lot of the other offense struggles. It's just an early season April slump. It happens to the best of them, and I think he's going to be fine. It looks concerning right now, but talk to me again at the end of the month and see how concerned I am. That's about how long I'll give it before I am really in panic mode.
Fair.
And I agree 100% with you, especially with the Riley Greene, an all-star guy who's been proven to be able to go through slumps and survive them, honestly, and come through them the other end of them, honestly, hot. That's what I expect out of Riley Greene. Early in the season, you're talking about baseball being that fickle sport and usually waiting for the bats to heat up. But that's where I'm grateful that we got what we have right now out of certain guys like Spencer Torkelson, among others, who have started off the season pretty decent. Shout out to Dylan Dingler, man. Dingler bang. But with the Riley Greene, I just have full confidence that this is a guy who, with the makeup of this team and what you have to do to be able to get to the levels they are now, playoffs and beyond, I just expect them to be able to have a team whose identity is overcoming adversity. It is bouncing back from these types of slumps. We've seen it as well with our other teams. What if Jared Goff did not have a short memory? There's been times when he's gone out there, and obviously we will keep the playoff memories buried deep as far as we can, but we've seen him come back from these types of games and bounce back and look like an MVP candidate. And that's what I expect, out of Riley Greene to do, is to bounce back from this and look like the all-star that we know. And right now his team is doing a good job at making sure he can be picked up. That's what I was saying from the beginning, like this team is going to have to pick up Scooble. And then you were talking about some of these bats. I said, you know what? Realistically, we can't be unfair to Riley Greene as well. A guy who did a lot for this team to get as far as they did. This team is going to have stretches where they pick up Riley Greene as well. Yep. But I'm not too concerned about this for the long term.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. Now, if we get to June, beginning of June, and he's still playing like this, now that's a bigger discussion. But you all know how I feel about Riley Greene. I'm somebody that has, been critical at times of Riley Greene, but I support him, and I look at him as the best player on this Tigers team. Like, just from an overall standpoint, in terms of fielding, in terms of at the plate, he is the best person or the best player on this Tigers team. So with that comes expectations. And although he had a great year last year, he had an all-star year last year, his numbers would suggest that maybe there's a little more left in the tank. And that's kind of what I wanted to see coming out of the gate this year. If Riley Greene is going to be your 1A guy, he needs to go out there and perform, even at times where, it might be a little hard to perform, or, it just circumstances may not, contribute to the best performance. But he needs to go out there and just be an absolute light. And like I said, I'm not worried about him defensively. I think at the plate, he's striking out a little more than I've ever seen him strike out. And, if he has done that before, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is probably the worst stretch of striking out that I've seen from Riley Greene. And once he settles down, once he gets past that, I think he'll be okay, because he's still going to be able to put the bat on the ball. Is he going to be a consummate source of power? Maybe not all the time, but he is absolutely somebody that can get on base and cause problems. So not worried about it just yet. He'll shake it out of it. He's a star in this league, and you kind of have to respect him as such. Give him some time to right the ship, but I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, and for the record, I actually think it would probably be a good idea if he gets a day off today. It wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, if Hinch wants him to keep hitting his way out of it, I'm cool with that as well. But if Riley Greene, I don't know, I'll have to look it up just how the starting matchups shake out. But maybe Greene against a lefty, he sits once during this series. But I would probably just do it today. Give him a chance to just maybe work extra with the hitting coach and the cages and whatnot. Get some extra time at batting practice, because something definitely does seem off. But one of the points that I wanted to make, and this is where perspective is key. Early season slumps for star players is a tale as old as time. And I get it. You can X or Twitter isn't real life, but the way people were talking yesterday about Riley Greene was insane.
Yeah.
I heard Toledo. I heard he sucks.
Yeah,
you can say he's playing bad, which he is right now, but a lot of that stuff is just nonsense. But JB, if you've got that one of my famous Flannel Sam Twitter X graphics to show you some perspective on Riley Greene right now. OPS is this season, Riley Greene 720, which kind of leads to the fact that at the beginning of the year he was so good that he can even withstand a terrible stretch like this, and his OPS is still over 720. Ellie De La Cruz, all-star last year, the type of player that most people think is better than Riley Greene, 712 OPS.
Grand Slam demon, though.
But still, lower OPS right now than Riley Greene, and a lower OPS last season. I digress. Rafael Devers, multiple-time All-Star, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, basically in his sleep, 710 OPS. Corey Seager, multiple-time World Series MVP, multiple-time All-Star, 690 OPS. Yordan Alvarez, we all know the type of power that he has and the type of player he's been. Multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time 30, 40 home runs, 100 RBIs, 687 OPS. Trey Turner, multiple-time All-Star, 661 OPS. Brian Reynolds, multiple-time All-Star, 640 OPS. Brent Rooker, All-Star last year, probably had a better year than Riley Greene, 639 OPS. Francisco Lindor, we all know Francisco Lindor very, very well from his time in Cleveland, probably going to be a Hall of Famer, 619 OPS. Jarren Duran, All-Star last year, 586 OPS. Christian Yelich, former MVP, really has rebounded his career after a couple of down years.
Facing him this
All-Star last
series.
year, 583 OPS. Anthony Santander, 40 home runs last season, All-Star, 552 OPS. And there is more, JB.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, wait, there's more.
There's more. Cody Bellinger, 550 OPS. Christian Walker, who was one of the prizes of free agency, 518 OPS. Cody Bellinger was also a former MVP and had really revitalized his career in Chicago. Yeah. Carlos Correa, we all know what he can do. Multiple-time All-Star, one of the best hitting shortstops in the league when he's healthy, 488 OPS. Wilson Contreras made multiple All-Star teams off the back of him being a really good hitting catcher, 476 OPS. Marcus Semien, multiple All-Star appearances, 387 OPS. And Alec Baum, All-Star last year, 331 OPS. I'm not saying this to excuse Riley Greene's start. I'm just saying that early season slumps for star players, for even superstar players, for Hall of Fame players, it's a tale as old as time. I know Riley Greene looks really bad right now, but a lot of these guys who are better than Riley Greene, who have had more accomplishments than Riley Greene, who I think a lot of you guys think highly of than Riley Greene, are slumping even worse.
And just to follow that up, I mean, for all the people saying AAA, you out your fucking mind. Like, it's not like he's looking like Colt Keith out there. We have seen something from Riley Greene to start the season. It's just lately, he's been striking out a lot, struggling at the plate. But he's going to get past this, bro. But for everybody that's saying, he needs to be sent down, that's ridiculous. Like, it's nowhere near that bad. He'll shake out of this.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I love the fact that I think that he's being judged based off of the star level that he is, rather than with the context and the perspective that Flannel Sam is providing. And with baseball, it's like, how long have we been watching baseball? You don't even have to be one of the guys that are taking the deep dives into all of the metrics and analytics and scouting reports and all this other stuff. If you just have watched baseball for any amount of time, if you've played it on any level, you know that this is just what can happen sometimes. We were expecting the Bats to get off to a similar slow start like they did last year.
Yeah.
So it's like, to see where we are right now with Riley Greene, I'm glad you laid out the stats the way that you did, man.
Yep.
This guy's going to bounce back.
And, of course, the usual suspects, Skydog. Sam comparing Riley to semi-scrubs doesn't help his cause. Every single person on that list was either an all-star last year or the year before. And a lot of them are going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. So, Skydog, how's that 67 and 95 prediction going for you, bud? I'm sure you'll find a way to say that you're right no matter what happens. But speaking of scrubs, in the chat, you're the ultimate scrub. Your IQ is 0.0. That's how dumb I think you are. That's how little I think of you. I would not shake your hand if I met you either. I'm not shaking your hand or I'm not shaking Phil's. You are the biggest cousin in the chat, and it's not even close. You have no good opinions. You're actually stupid.
Damn.
Crash out.
We made it to 9:15 until Flannel blew up, everybody.
He tried, bro. He tried.
He has changed the man as Spencer Torkelson. Yes, he is. Hey, just a big hitter, Flannel Sam and Spencer Torkelson. Let's rock.
Man. I mean, Skydog. Hey, Skydog. Can I get a "Let's Go Knicks" cheer from you, please? Because I know that's what you're doing this week. I know that's what you're doing. You bum.
And you know what? That's a perfect segue too, because we got to talk about those. Wait, not Detroit Pistons. I'm sorry.
You might want to close your ears, Skydog.
Let me put some respect on it. Those playoff Detroit Pistons.
Fucking loser.
That's how
still going though.
I love it.
Sam over here still going.
Dante151, thank you for the super chat. So people are overreacting on Riley Greene. No big surprise. Also, everyone, and I mean everyone, goes in slumps. I mean, yeah,
in
100%.
baseball, it's real easy to do.
Also, can we say Gleyber Torres is a great signing because he has been helping Baez? I mean, he's also playing well. It's just unfortunately he got hurt, but I think he will prove. I mean, you have him being an all-star.
Yeah, I do.
He's on that trajectory right now.
If he continues to play the defense that he's playing and providing the source of power at the plate, absolutely.
Hey, let's rock, man. Let's get into those playoff Detroit Pistons, as they have now joined the Lions and the Tigers as teams to make the playoffs.
Hey, Skydog, Sam, never heard any 95% of them. That's a you problem because you don't know baseball. Because your worldview is so small. All you care about is your teams.
Get 'em.
These are household names, my dude. That
Get
just
'em.
shows what your level of comprehension is. That doesn't say anything about those players. How about you actually go to like a baseball almanac sometimes and actually look things up instead of just spew bullshit?
Get him.
I would ban you. If it were up to me, I would ban you because that's how stupid you are. You are 1,000 times worse than Brandon Katz. You are the dumbest human being I have ever interacted with.
You're stupid.
I interact with Twitter trolls who have one follower who I think of higher than you.
You're
Goddamn.
stupid.
Like, I seriously hope something bad happens to you today.
No.
Seriously.
Prick.
I hope somebody rear ends your car, bro. Dead ass.
Damn.
Not to the point where like you're hurt or anything, but to where you have a major inconvenience in your life.
God.
That is the type of idiot that I think you are.
Man, my man called him Derek Carr,
I
dog.
can't like
Right.
I can't
You get
even be in the
rear-ended.
same thinking space as somebody with that little level of comprehension or nuance.
All right, down, boy.
Done.
Down. Yeah,
Done.
down.
Woosah,
God
woosah.
damn.
Damn.
So, break.
All right.
Holy shit.
At Lady Jane,
Yeah.
we take the charge of getting a haircut. Our talented stylists will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage. My favorite, the hot lather neck shave,
Ooh,
and a
thick and
hot
wet.
towel
Need
treatment.
lubrication.
Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane
Lubricated
Haircut.
towels.
Check it awesome.
Nice and drippy. Just how I
Yo,
like it.
oh shit, we got Junior Battle in the chat. Shout out Coach Card.
You said
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy. Join him every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Guys, you got to trust the guy that D-Mac does. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Hey, welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We get to talk about, this is our pleasure to talk about the playoff Detroit Pistons. And they end the season 44-38. That is 30 more wins over the 14 they won just a season ago underneath the Monty Williams helm head coach. Now you enter JB Bickerstaff and the tweaks that he brings to the table. You enter Trajan Langdon as a singular voice of direction for the basketball operations, and you see this team, after Tom Gores goes, cleans up his mistakes, CTC steps back, this team has absolutely taken off, man, like a jet, man. And I don't even know where, the expectation, like where you even go to set the expectation for this team moving forward, because they've looked like a top 5 team since they've gotten this thing figured out. And I get it. They have them right now as an underdog against the New York Knicks. The Pistons 6 seed against the 3 seed Knicks, but they match up well. They did win the season series, but there's a lot of people who are saying, you know what? You guys haven't seen anything yet. Well, you know what I did see? A lot to like about the Detroit Pistons in the regular season, fam.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I think this is just a good time to appreciate exactly what they did in this regular season. So I got a couple of numbers for you. Most wins in a season, 44 since 2016. And we all know 2016 was more of a fugazi. This is real. This is sustainable. The Pistons actually have a chance to win a playoff series this year. Had 30 more wins this season than last season. More than triple, by the way. Cade Cunningham was an all-star and will be all-NBA. I don't think any of us are even worried that he will get snubbed. The biggest question is it first team, second team, or third? I'd probably be a little upset if it were third, but at the very worst, he's going to be third team All-NBA at worst. And he has this season, he set his career high in games played, minutes per game, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and assists per game. And he's 7th in the NBA in scoring and 4th in assists this year. And not to be outdone, Malik Beasley this season is 2nd in the entire bleeping NBA in three-pointers made at 319. Unfortunately, because the T-Wolves actually had to win yesterday's game to avoid the play-in, Ant Edwards did go off and passed up Malik Beasley. But Malik Beasley is 2nd in the NBA in three-pointers made at 319. He is sandwiched right between Anthony Edwards and Steph Curry. Not the worst company.
Not bad.
One more power stat that I wanted to give before I throw it over to my guys. The defense is one of the biggest differences as well. And we know that the defense, once they really started getting going, was even better than what it showed over the totality of the season. But I just want to give you these total numbers. Last season, the 14-win one, the Pistons gave up 119 points per game. This season, 114 points per game. That's only that's actually less of an increase than I thought it was. However, with that 5-point increase, do you know how many wins this season the Pistons have had by 5 points or fewer?
How much?
12. Those 5 points are a difference between the 6th seed and not even making the play-in. So even though a 5-point opponent's point per game difference doesn't seem like much, it is the Atlantic freaking ocean. It is the difference between comfortably in the playoffs to not even getting in the play-in.
And you know what? Since they made some tweaks and some changes and such, the Detroit Pistons have been top 8 or higher in all of these stats I'm about to mention. Offensive rating, defensive rating, field goal percentage, lowest opponent field goal percentage, and they were 4th in that. 1st in points in the paint, 5th in fewest opponent points in the paint, 3rd in blocks, 8th in steals, 3rd in fast break points. And as we're talking about, you know, all the positives from the season, I have a few more of these stats to kind of throw in there as well. This is the most points per game in a season in Pistons history. They landed at number 6 in the history of the Pistons.
That actually makes sense. It sounds crazy at first, but since the NBA's gotten more, this is the first time the Pistons have been good when the NBA's gotten like more offensive in the modern era.
This is the only one like in this decade. You have to go back to the 80s before you find a team that averaged as many points as this one has, which is just amazing. But there's some things that you gotta really, really like about this Pistons team as you're heading into the playoffs too. Most bench points per game since February 1st. You know where the Pistons sit? They sit 5th in the league. They actually are ahead of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And when we're talking about teams like the Knicks and some of these other squads that they're going to face off, that they have a potential chance to face off with, I really do like the makeup of the Pistons' depth. We know how much Beasley's going to help a lot of that, but 41.7 points per game. They do shoot about 46% as a team, and the bench shoots 37.7, almost 38% from behind the arc per game. And within that, you have a lot of these players that show up in your top 5. So most games played off the bench this season. Shout out to our guy Ron Holland, who was pissed that he didn't get to play the whole season. Obviously, you know what? Fighting for Detroit, got him suspended, but it's all right, man. Isaiah Stewart, most blocks off the bench, that belongs to him. 94 of those off the bench. Dennis Schroeder, the most bench assists per game. Since the trade deadline, that's Dennis Schroeder, 4.9 per game. And then Malik Beasley, we know what he's been doing, most points per game off the bench. Only DeAndre Hunter has more points per game off the bench than him. So this is a complete team, because you could talk about everything that we know about all NBA player Cade Cunningham. that's just a drop in the basket. That's as sure as a Cade Cunningham mid-range. But when you look at the depth of this team overall, and we've talked about even the connection with Jalen Duren and such, this is where I am very, very excited about what this Pistons team can be in the playoffs against the New York Knicks.
It's proven to be, I think, a lot more of a good team quicker than a lot of us even anticipated, just because you look how well Jalen Duren has progressed throughout the season. Ever since his bad start, he's been a really damn good center, and the numbers play that out. Asar Thompson, ever since he came back from the blood clot, has been, for the most part, when he's on, an absolute demon, and he's always gives what he gives you defensively. Malik Beasley probably going to win the Sixth Man of the Year. Should. Isaiah Stewart being one of the more dominant defense, like off-bench big men I've seen in recent times. Certainly pound for pound, because the man is probably closer to 6'7" than 7 feet. I'll just say that. But that even furthers just how great he's been. I mean, Tobias Harris has really got it together. He's proven to be a pivotal piece on this team. Just look at their record with him and without him. I'll let you guys look that up. But Tobias Harris, even when his numbers weren't good, he was valuable, and his numbers have actually gotten a lot better. And I could go on and on and on. It's just, obviously we know Cade's the man, Cade's El Capitano, but I do see a little bit too many people, and I know we're going to talk about this more as it gets closer. I see a few too many people. Basically, they're worried that it's going to be just like Cade and nobody else. And I think that lacks a little bit of nuance and understanding.
It definitely does, especially when you just kind of peel back the layers of how the Detroit Pistons have gotten to this point. Cade Cunningham would be the first person to tell you that his teammates deserve a lot of credit. If you guys remember earlier in the season, we had the audio and we brought it here and we were able to ask questions and such at the press conference. They talked about being stars in their own lane. And I'm going to go back and get some of that because I had a good conversation with Stu at one of the practices where he talked about that. JB Bickerstaff has come in and made it clear that all of us are going to be able to have a chance to lunch and eat if we just do what we're supposed to do as it relates to their overall game plan. And they found out what people were best at, and they tried to reduce what people weren't the best at. It sounds like, wow, rocket science, right? It sounds so simple. But up to this point, they haven't been able to do that. And I realized why. Because they hadn't had a good eye in the organization at identifying who these players were going to be at the next level. When you're taking a Jalen Duren based off potential and you don't necessarily know who he's going to be, you run the opportunity of actually mismanaging him. When you draft an Asar Thompson and a Jaden Ivey and your coach doesn't necessarily know who those players are supposed to be, well, then you know what? You run the risk of mismanaging them. And they almost did. But then you enter JB Bickerstaff and his staff and his complete coaching staff, including some of the ones they retained in Jarrett Jack, which shows this Pistons team is serious about making sure they keep the good in and that they bring in the rest to augment the way forward. And they've identified who these players are and have put them in their best possible positions to succeed. We've seen Jalen Duren take that leap to next year. I don't think there's anybody who's going to fight KG on is he the number 2 in terms of impact.
Well, with Jaden Ivey coming back.
With Jaden Ivey.
This is where I have to push back just a little bit, and I'm not mad at it. Malik Beasley had 319 threes.
I understand. And I'm talking about the arc, where they're going from here.
I understand. It's just that
you
I would
lose a lot more
say
games without Duren's defense, though. And I stand
on
that.
Over the course of this season, I still
stand
that as Beasley. But going into next season, just the same way we said Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren were going to have to step up. I was very bullish on that. That these guys. They're the ones we're supposed to depend on, and it's because we know that they can step up.
Yeah,
that's the same thing that I mean. Going into next season, I expect a number 2 type impact leap out of a Jalen Duren who's starting to figure it out and now gets to work the entire offseason with a coach and a development staff who has figured it out. Last offseason, they didn't even know necessarily what was going on. And then all of a sudden they had to make changes, and then the coach had to come in on the fly and get these guys on a plan. And what were they all saying at the press conference podium at Media Day just like a month after the coach was hired? Man, he's just coming here instantly, and we feel like we understand. All Marcus Sasser told me his entire year under Monty Williams was this: I'm still learning the game.
Damn.
I haven't heard them say that at all this year.
Damn.
Not one time did I hear any of them young guys, not even Holland, I'm still learning the game. I haven't heard that from them. And why? Because Holland came in and said, well, they already told me if I do this, this, and this, I'll get my time out there on the court. So I'm going to work on being best at these things and improving on my weaknesses. That's all that they're saying now. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why, I'm not going to be surprised if Beasley's back here and he goes and puts up another great season and improves, hey, I'm the number 2. But I do expect, like, your Jalen Durans and your Asar Thompsons to take that next step forward, especially seeing what they did just so quickly already underneath Bickerstaff and Co.
That's telling, man.
If they do, they'll be a championship contender if they take that next step.
I mean, because you talking about the tweaks, it's really as it relates, in my opinion, on the offensive side. Defensively, I feel like he's a snowball that's rolling downhill. He's starting to figure it out. You can see it. To me, it was an instinct. We always knew he had the athleticism, the size, and when he was locked in, he could do it. But there's this instinct thing that I'm starting to see that he's really getting much better with. On the offensive side, and you said it before, man, if he gets that little McDice down, if he gets some little pet moves in the post, he's going to be dang near unstoppable. Right now, he's able to just throw that elbow around and just dunk it on somebody. But when he's able to, they throw it down in the shot clock 5, 4, 3, 2, and he's able to boom, boom, and hook shot over his left. He's going to be something that I don't think we've seen since maybe Sheed here.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. It's so tantalizing just thinking of how far a lot of these players have to go. Like, imagine if Jalen Duren just next year. And I understand we don't want to look forward to. I mean, the playoffs are here, but just looking at the future, because I think we're kind of talking about it a little bit.
You got to think about the future.
Imagine if Jalen Duren even just plays the full season like he did the last 40 or so games of this year and gives you more of a threat with a jump shot.
And the basic post move.
Sure. Willie, that is 100% fair. We all know that Ron Holland hasn't even approached his ceiling. Asar Thompson's going to get better. Jaden Ivey is going to be back.
Yeah.
I think Cade Cunningham, not that he desperately needs to go to another level, but I think he could have a more efficient season next year, maybe working his three-point shot a little bit, and maybe sooner than later, the Pistons will be actual championship contenders. And don't get me wrong, there are other ways to build it. We don't know exactly how the approach that's going to be taken. Are they going to try to trade for a second star? Are they going to treat it as everybody's here and we need to develop and sign more tactful free agents like Beasley's, for example? We don't know that, but
I will keep my ear to the ground. I will tell you guys that. I will keep my ear close to the ground. There's been certain things that I've been able to – things that kind of leak through, and the things that I'll be able to share, I'll definitely share. So I want y'all to definitely stay tapped into the Pistons coverage we have throughout the entire network, as well as the Woodward Pistons and the WUW Crew, because as we hear things from certain people, we will share what we can share.
And something tells me that Trajan is a little different from a Brad Holmes or even a Scott Harris for that matter. They had to be practical this year because they had no choice. Like, there wasn't a lot of options for the Pistons, but what they did hit on, they absolutely went out there and hit on. So you got to give them credit for that. But going forward, knowing that you have an owner that will spend, knowing that you have cap space, and knowing the type of cerebral guy that Trajan Langdon is, I wouldn't be surprised if he made a big move. I have more confidence in Trajan making a big move than any other GM in this town, and that's a fact.
You said you have more faith in Trajan than any other GM?
Well, because in making a big move, well, slow yourself, Kool-Aid.
When you really think about it, though,
I haven't seen him make the big move yet.
Well, but like, what are, for better or for worse, what are our GMs known for? Obviously for being the best crop in Detroit sports history. That's fair too.
Move.
Yeah.
But also not making the big move.
True.
Yeah, even the Schroeder move, it was so savvy how they did it, and they still really didn't part with any capital. But I do get your sense. It's the way he's commanded this, not just this front office, but even what he's done in other front offices and kind of the cachet that comes along with him. When Troy Weaver was brought in, it was really a spotlight on his ability to identify draft talent. But with Trajan Langdon coming over here, all of the talk we heard was about how well he is as it relates to the business side of this thing at putting together a basketball team and identifying not just young talent, but also your, the cheap talent that you can get out there.
Right.
And learning how to manipulate and how to work the cap space. And where I do actually kind of agree with you is the way that he's put together his front office. If it was just like, Trajan Langdon, like, hey, this is me, then maybe you say, man, we're going to have to ride or die with Trajan Langdon. But he's put together a really good front office. He's brought in cap specialists. He's brought in more scouts.
Yeah.
They've even put Dwayne Casey and others into roles where they can go out there and scout and be on it, from draft prospects to G League prospects to even players that they might have on their trade radar. So they got that going for them, man. And if anybody's going to be able to do it, I do believe Trajan Langdon is set up for that success.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I see some people in the chat vibing with me. And yes, he hasn't made that big move yet. So I know it's hard to, just go out here and say something like that. But when you just look at the situation that the Pistons are in, expectations change. I think they came into this thing thinking that it would be a 2 to 3 year kind of retooling process in order to get this thing back on track. That's been expedited now. And much in the way of Neil Rule with the Tigers, what better time than to strike than a year like this where you tripled your win total. You're going into the playoffs as a credible team that can maybe win a playoff series. Don't let them actually win a playoff series. Then I think at that point you got to come to the table and realize, okay, I don't think another 18 or 19-year-old is really helping the progress at this point. So you want to be able to go out in either the trade market or free agent market and be able to make some kind of splash. Now, this team doesn't need a whole lot. They still have holes, don't get me wrong, but they don't need a whole lot. But if you can make additions in certain areas, like for me, it's that power forward. If you go get maybe a 7'4" that can score a little bit, I think this Pistons team looks drastically different. If you can go add another good big to this team looks a little bit different. So I think in those type of ways, Trajan will get a little more aggressive. And don't be surprised if you see one of the bigger names in this league become a Detroit Piston, because I think they are well facilitated for that. But time will tell.
Yeah, no,
that's just a theory, though.
They've set themselves up to be able to do this, and we know that they've been dancing with teams like the Pelicans. We know the Trajan Langdon connections too. And you're right, man. That forward to me is the spot where you can go and make an impactful upgrade. I do believe, as it relates to the flow of this team and the offense of this team, that's the place where you can go and make that upgrade and not really disrupt too much, but actually add to the elements that this offense is able to present.
Yeah.
We see it when Tobias Harris is on his heaters and he kind of plays that back to the basket role, that ISO role, giving you that punch of offense. And if you can get a little bit more as it relates to even rebounding and just the physicality in the paint, despite the fact that you want this player to potentially stretch the floor, yeah, they're set up for that. And that's where I do wonder, with this team blowing through the expectations that even Trajan Langdon had, and he stated that, that's where I do wonder how much does that influence their ability or their decision-making going forward to go and cash out on a star, which everyone thought they needed to get to this point? Or do you say, we think we have some of those dogs now, and we just have to make sure we make the right, transitional pieces? I do believe a 4 is a weakness of this team. I've written about it for a long time. You've talked about it since you've gotten here. Flannel Sam has talked about it for a long time. And Pistons fans everywhere have talked about it for a long time. And that's the one that if you're going to cash out, at this point in time, I would rather be there. You're no longer in a position where you need that Levine or DeRozan type of a player.
You don't need that.
You don't need
Could
that
you
anymore.
Use it? Sure, but you don't need it.
What you need is a Lloyd market.
Well,
that's what I want. And I see Junior battle in the chat. Shout out Coach Carter. But nah, Junior, that's who I would want. I would want somebody like a Larry Markkinen to add to this team. I think that's the perfect move. That would put the Pistons as a top 3 team in the East, hands down. Hands down.
Yeah, and Junior battle, I am as big of a Coach Carter stan that you'll find. It's one of my favorite movies. But I'm also one of those guys that roots more for the villains. Like, for example, I'm a Johnny Lawrence guy in The Karate Kid. And especially after seeing Cobra Kai,
that makes sense.
That 100%.
That explains a lot.
I'm glad that Ty Crane and his team won that championship.
I'm the real Ty
Crane. Or that game. Because they were upstarts, man. I like the big dogs. But I guess, I think it's time will tell. Because there's going to be a decision that's going to have to be made. It's funny because playoffs are amazing and playoffs are fantastic, and Cade being a no doubt All-NBA, it definitely expedites things, though, to where there's going to be championship or bust expectations, I think, or win a championship in this era or it's a failure type of expectation soon. And how they're going to go about doing it, I think it depends a lot on development from certain players. But Lauri Markkanen.
You got to think, this time last year, agents were literally telling their players, don't go to Detroit. Like, we have no interest in coming to Detroit. Now you look at this situation now and just what they've been able to do, the growth of Cade Cunningham. I think this is an attractive destination for maybe a player or two to want to come here and actually try to make this work. So
no, those are bars, man. That's absolutely bars, and they've changed this thing up so quickly. And it wasn't just an overnight thing. That's where I tell people, don't hate on the contributions of people like Dwayne Casey, who's still here. No. Don't hate on the contributions of guys like Troy Weaver, who identified the core and the attitude that these people were going to have, and that he said that these people fit in with Detroit. So it's like, and obviously they had a misstep there because they wanted this thing to get off to the places of success that we see now. They wanted that last year. Gores was like, it ain't happening. Mm-hmm. He stepped in, hired a coach, then stepped in, fired one, brought in a person to run this thing, and now we see, I can tell you this, we're now to a point where it's like, you know what, whatever Trajan chooses to do, we will trust in that. We will definitely trust him, but I do see the light, and like we've been saying for a minute, they get that I think they really supercharge things. But with the ascension of a Cade Cunningham and how this team has grown around him, the fact that if you would have brought in a Claxton, how would that have blocked a Jalen Duren, even if he still here on the roster? That's where I then start to wonder, like, this team's approach going forward with these young guys that I know they have a lot of belief in. Shout out to Bobby Buckets, Bobby Clinton.
Yeah.
He looked good last night in this minutes.
Let's chill on Bobby Buckets. But
hey, let people have fun, Sam. Damn.
Nickname.
Yeah, you lucky I ain't it. I'd hit the siren on his ass so fast.
Buckets,
Thank
man.
you,
Him and his family were cool too down at Summer League, man. They gave us some content and time. Shout out Bobby Clement. I know people wanted to see his NBA minutes, bro.
I'm happy. I am happy to see his NBA minutes.
Hey, Bobby Buckets, TJ Duckets, Pistons in 5. Okay, so let's just I'm talking shit, but let's have some
TJ Duckets.
We in the playoffs, man. Let's just have some goddamn. Let's a free roll, bro. Let's have some fun, man. Let's enjoy this shit.
Put up a pretty nice stat line, man. Hey, but let me tell you guys about Buddy's Pizza, and I guess we'll double up too. A little bit of Mark White flavor as well, JBSmooovv.
A little bit. Definitely got to shout out Burn. He sent in $5 to put us over our second super chat of the day. He said, to be clear, I think Wemby will be good, but man, I'm glad we got Asar and not Wemby this season. So shout out to that.
If you're talking about only because Wemby's out for the season, then fine. Otherwise, I think you're insane, and I love Asar.
Yeah, definitely. Victor Wembanyama is obviously the better prospect and player, but I'm grateful that we do have Asar if you can wind up with a Wemby.
Yeah.
Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, they have 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app and start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using that promo code 10MEAL. That is the number 10, so that's 10MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com.
And Mark White.
Yes. Dream of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
One.
Shout out the good people over at Lone Spring is in the air and Michigan is buzzing. And I'm talking about the drink Buzzin', 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles, crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. They're big in flavor but low in calories and 100% hangover free. It's all bubbles and no troubles catching in watermelon, cherry, strawberry, or try one of the brand new flavors, raspberry, lemonade, and peach. Crack a can, take a sip, and catch a buzz. Available at Loom's 38 locations across Michigan. And y'all see the QR code up there. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order. Go to loom.com to get yours today.
Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and you guys have been sending in those super chats. Y'all have been smashing that like button today. So, chat family, thank you so much for supporting the WUW Crew. Do we have any other super chats to clean up before we get into everybody's favorite segment, JBSmooovv?
No, that was it. But shout out to everyone sending in super chats as well too. We hit that goal with ease today.
Yeah, shout out.
Hey, shout out to everybody, man.
Much
Hey,
love.
That much closer to Vegas, but let's get things sparking, Mr. JBSmooovv.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
It's time for your boy JB in the house.
Yo,
Let's rock.
What's going on, chat family? What's up, fellas? Got some videos for you today just so you can check this out. I just want you to know that, you know what, KG? I think the Hot Pockets are ready, but let me know.
Okay. Holy shit.
Hot Pockets ready?
My man in the background. Yeah, you actually got to put that out.
Yeah, let's say you heard him
Like,
talking.
yeah, you probably should put that
Oh
out.
my goodness.
Bro, why put aluminum microwave? That's a big no-no.
Dog, he about to burn down the whole dorm.
What to say? Do we know?
Oh, some bullshit.
I don't know if the dorm burned down, so
it's in
I don't
Alabama.
know, but it's in Alabama, yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
Give piss about nothing but the pride.
No, University of Alabama though is a sick campus.
Yeah.
shout out, but man, having a fire extinguisher on hand, just have it on hand somehow, some way.
Yeah, that food is cooked too. You might as well. Yeah, it's just
No flavor.
It's a wrap.
just go out. It's time for McDonald's.
No seasoning.
It's a wrap there. Over the weekend, I found out a trick, a cheat code, as you say, to those pop machines that you see at a Dave & Buster or something like that. So why don't you guys try this technique next time you see one?
Come
Hit
on,
the
man.
ball from the side.
I mean,
Good
it
cheating.
works.
It's great cheating.
it's cheating, but it works.
If it works, it
About
works.
to break records.
Yeah, he's over there crushing now.
I'm just saying, you get those tickets up real quick.
I guess, man.
I
He
don't
must
blame
really
him.
want that stuffed Ninja Turtle or something. I don't know.
Ball is life for this guy.
Ball is definitely life for
Wonder
this
how
Shortcut
guy.
long
is
he's there
life.
until you figure
Yeah,
that
Pretty
out.
much.
Fair. Short.
Like, I just want to see his normal shot now. Like, is he
Oh, you
even
know
really
it's
a
broke
baller?
if he doing something like that. I know that shit, bro. We ain't even got to discuss it. That shit big, bro.
Oh,
That's
man.
probably how he even discovered this.
Yeah, right.
It's broke as hell, I tell you that.
Well, it is a Monday, everybody, so just know not everyone is on their A game at work. And no, I'm not cleaning this up.
Oh, fuck all that.
So wait, is these? Oh hell no!
Flashback.
Oh my god!
Easter Market back in
Do you hear him yelling?
Oh,
Oh yeah, you just got fired, big dog. I don't know about
No.
you, but you just lost to your job.
I can relate.
Oh,
You
really?
talking about I can relate? Of course you can relate with me.
Willie.
I worked at the Easter Market back in 2006.
Who's ready for story time with Willie, baby?
In 2012, we out there, and I work in the night shift. I was making $30 a night, and that's how worth it is for those farmers back at the Eastern Market. So, me and my co-worker, who like the guy rest his soul, like to get stuff that he wants that doesn't belong to him. So, got me decoy. We got to go to the freezer. He said, get them the boxes of green vegetables. I said, that's not ours. He said, it doesn't matter. Just grab them. I was like, oh damn, another. And after that, I grabbed the boxes. A whole rack fell.
Oh
damn!
No.
Lucky ain't no camera, so we don't know what happened. He said, man, some crackhead come in there.
Nice.
Damn, crackheads getting in here like
smart,
squirrels.
Man, in the east side of Detroit, so that case you get away with a lot of stories to tell your boss about something happened about their storage. So he got the boxes and he made a couple dollars on his own, stuff in the pocket. I said, where's my cut? Well, that's the thing you gotta learn from.
What?
I said, so you got me stealing with some boxes for no damn reason. For you making your buck, I ain't getting my cut. What kind of bullshit is this?
You're stealing boxes, Will. You alright stealing boxes on your day off?
I was at work and they told me I would get the boxes. I thought I'd do it at the job. I ain't got no idea I was.
Shout out to Willie B.
Right. Story time with Willie B, baby.
Yes, indeed.
Good shout out to Willie for that one. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. Somebody said nacho fries are back at Taco Bell.
What?
Why do they keep taking them off the menu?
Her nacho fries were back.
Oh! Got my swerve and been that corner. Whoa.
You said the fries were back. I had to go get them.
God damn. He wanted them boys.
They're really good.
He had the tow truck at the Taco Bell is crazy.
Nah, I know a spot over at Old Park in the 696. Man, the sloppy chili cheese fries, fire with the chopped cheese. I had my chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese the Aki way?
Yeah, man, I had a chopped cheese, man.
The Aki way?
Yeah, the Aki way. Yeah,
you don't get it.
I know you talk about that. I can translate that. I can translate that later on the show. But yeah, I had me a chopped cheese, a New York style chopped cheese. Except it's a bootleg version because it's not in New York. It's in the suburbs. So I got a chopped cheese. It was on fire. It's like chili cheese fries.
Never.
It was so good. It melts too, man.
It melted your mouth a little bit.
Yeah, indeed.
In the words of T-Paul.
Pause.
It creams in your mouth a little bit.
And pause, man. Yeah, pause. Yeah.
I'm just saying. You talk about your experience. I'm just asking questions. That's all.
I understand that.
Willie B's like the most interesting man in the world.
I swear, bro. Give him the new Dosakis commercial.
Dosakis.
We're about to cook up that graphic, JB.
Dosakis.
You might have to do something.
The most interesting man in the world. That's it for what's trending, you guys.
Oh man! Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody on the crew today. That dude Justin, JBSmooovv or what's trending. Willie B with the story time. Everybody else just cooking it up. Hey, we gotta say what up, though. Any more friends?
Just follow us on socials.
Hey, you know what? Follow us on social. Stay connected. Woodward Sports on all social platforms. That is Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, behind the scenes action, and we cannot forget about those giveaways. From merch to jerseys to tickets to sporting events. Like we just had some winners to the Pistons versus Knicks game for the Slam cover night. As well as cash giveaways, jerseys, all that type of stuff. You guys want to stay tapped in with Woodward socials. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network at Woodward Sports everywhere. And looks like we got a few minutes for a little bit of mail.
Actually, you know what? Let me
chat.
One thing before we get to mailbag. Skydog, I shouldn't have invoked you getting rear-ended today. That was too far.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry for that. However, will you apologize when Cade is named All-NBA for still perpetuating the trade talk? Will you do it? Find out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Change man.
On the next episode of Wake Up Woodward.
Next time.
Right. I used to hate that about Dragon Ball Z. It's right when they getting into the shit too. Find out next time.
Like man, he been powered up for 5 minutes.
You're right.
Like, yeah, and
you spent the whole episode talking shit, and they finally do the power up scene, and now you want to cut the
then
episode.
You start off
like,
next episode, it's still 5 minutes of powering up. It's like,
Sale talking shit for 24 minutes, and then at the end, find out next week. Like, come on, bro.
Like, bro, I listen to Frieza talk all episode. I can't just see Goku go Super Saiyan, but whatever. Whatever, man.
Will they finish the mission? Find out next week. To be continued.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Shout out Randall Smalls. Hashtag Feldman Mailbag. Could see 3 to 4 guys available to Brad at number 19 and number 20. Could also see Brad get 3 guys in the second round. There will be a lot of trades this year. What say you? So I guess he's hinting at maybe Brad trades up. What do you think is more likely? That he trades up aggressively? We think he stays set at that 28.
We already know how I feel about it. I think he's going to trade up. It's been his track record in damn near every draft to this point. The trade back talk has kind of heated up lately. You know, you didn't really hear much of that up until the last couple weeks, but it makes sense though because this is such a deep defensive draft. There is definitely the possibility of him trading back, but I just don't see it. If he has a guy that, you know, is a first round grade in that top 15 that might fall, then I can see him moving up and maybe going to get his guy, whoever that is. But
if he wants certain edge rushers, I think that's the tactic that he's going to use to trade up. However, the more time goes along, and I could be wrong, and quite frankly, I hope that I am, I have a feeling if he stays put, he's going to take Gray Zabel. Not that it would be a catastrophic pick or anything like that.
No,
it's just it wouldn't be my first choice.
I really don't think he's going O-lineman first round. I know a lot of people that's the new thing, like, oh, he's going O-lineman. We tried to tell y'all, but I don't know. I don't think it's as big as of a need as, you know, defensive end is or anything on the defensive line, but that's just me.
I agree.
And I do believe, though, that he does have a lot of options available to him because if he does go Gray Zabel and then bring back, you know, Zadarius Smith, you know, with also getting some other pass rush or edge help in the later rounds of the draft, I'm like, all right, cool. And this is where I did see one of the comments on the new Lions weekly update show with Terry Foster. That's for somebody, they do believe that there's going to be a lot of apologies given to Brad Holmes after this draft.
I mean, I don't – let me just say this. I think the Brad hate is overblown.
Absolutely.
I think it's kind of a –
He doesn't have bad drafts. Even last year, if y'all want to say that was maybe not his best draft, it still wasn't a bad draft.
But I think people are looking for it where it's not there. It's okay to ask some questions. Yeah. I don't think anybody's out on Brad. I just think
bat 1,000 sometimes.
I just think that there's still – I still think they need to add more to the defensive line. Not that it's Brad better do it or else. I just think that would be advantageous. That's all.
Let me see here. JBSmooovv, anything for you on the Lions draft? It's just right around the corner, actually.
Dude, it's right around the corner, as you said. Like, we've been seeing a lot of swerves. Maybe Brad's going offensive lineman, but please, just go edge. Just go edge. Start up, stack up that defense. Double up on defense the first and second round. Just please. That's all I'm asking for right now.
I lean towards your camp, man. Definitely. Obviously, we all will trust Brad because he's proven already that what he believes in has gotten the Lions this far. Yashawan Judah, Feldman Mailbag, New York Knicks, Mozzarella Sticks, Lilo and Stitch,
hey,
Pistons and 6.
Hey,
I gotta get you guys hey, listen, this is early on, but the playoffs start on the 19th. We have a watch party this Saturday for that Pistons playoff game, so make sure you guys stay tapped in. But what are you thinking? Pistons and 6? That is my early prediction.
That's my early prediction as well. It could change. I'm going to try to – we're obviously on Friday's show going to actually go around and do more of the whys and hows and whatnot. But my early prediction is Pistons and 6.
That's right.
I think that's the easy prediction.
You predicted the gentleman's sweep, right?
Well, that was with the Pacers. I said if they face the Pacers, then Pistons and 5. But since they facing the Knicks, I guess 6 is a good. It could go 7 though. It really could. I do wonder if it does go 7, could they get that final game in MSG? But give me Pistons and 6, man. I think that's the most common answer for us Pistons fans.
I see Freddie Felt 313, but I got to go to our booth as well. What are you guys thinking with these Pistons versus Knicks?
What's your name, Willie?
Rolling dishes, hitting the switches, fucking with big booty bitches, Pistons and 5.
Hey! Willie with the bars.
Right here.
Big bar, Willie. Stop playing with him.
My man let the New York
Big
out.
bar, Willie, in this motherfucker.
Goodness. JB, what about you, brother?
Oh, man. It's hard to follow that up, but anyway, I'm gonna try to do it. Don't matter. New York Knicks, matchsticks, chopsticks. Craig, run the blitz. Pistons and 6.
Craig, run the blitz.
Let's go. And one more Pistons one before we wrap up here from our guy, Freddie Feld 313, Feldman Mailbag. Who will be the breakout star of the New York Pistons series, not named Cade, and why? And then he ends this with all caps. You guys can help me if you want. Detroit basketball.
Oh, it feels so good to say that. We can say that proudly now.
I can
God
hear the chat
damn.
family as well, man. It was getting the hype off of that. I can't wait. Like, playoff basketball, meaningful.
Right. And
Like,
shout
we
out
get
to Mason.
Sit back and just watch the play-in tournament. Like, we're not in that type of anxiety.
Yeah.
But what say you, man? I'm intrigued by your answer here, Flannel Sam, because I already know JB's, and shout out to Vassier Chase, who's in the building. I know that they're looking forward to the star breakout of one Tobias Harris.
Of course. See, I don't think that you can ever call someone like a Tobias Harris, who's a veteran and been in a lot of playoff games, a breakout star. And this is just preliminary on a mailbag question. I'd probably say Jalen Duren, just because I think that the Pistons are going to need production from the big men because the Knicks are going to get it from Towns.
Because why? Right now, he's the number 2.
Number 2. Fair enough.
Hey, I'm standing on that. But I will say Asar Thompson. I feel like Asar Thompson's defense is going to be very, very vital in this series. If he can get something going offensively, and it doesn't need to be, shooting shots, but if he can get to the paint, be that slasher that we know him to be, and just create chaos, and that's something that I think Asar does well. He goes out there and he creates chaos. If he does that, then the Knicks are going to have a long, long series, bro. Give me Asar.
I'm still going to say Jalen Duren because that's the way this was always supposed to be. If Jaden Ivey wasn't there, it was supposed to be Jalen Duren. We knew how the big 3 or the core 4 was supposed to shape for these Detroit Pistons. And as we've seen Jalen Duren improve and step into a bigger light, we've seen the Detroit Pistons be able to maintain and hold and even improve defensively over the course of the season. I believe it is Jalen Duren. He has to still lead this team and the NBA in dunks. They still have to be second in the league in fast breaks. He's going to have to continue to go out there and put up double-doubles because one thing we talked about for the first quarter or third of the season was the fact that he was still averaging under a double-double. And now that you see him going out there and being that impactful force, that's why I do believe he has to continue to be that. Why? Because this game, in my opinion, is going to be won in the trenches.
Yeah.
How much they harass Cat and how much they make him work as well. Like, it's not just the physicality that you're bringing on the defensive side, but it's also the physicality that you're bringing in terms of making him work, punishing him, putting fouls on those other bigs that they have. So that's why I do look at a guy like Tobias, like a Jalen Duren, to be the second most impactful Piston. And it's going to come if he does it on both ends of the floor.
Hey, guys, my work here is done. Hey, listen, if you're expecting a breakout from Jalen Duren in a playoff series, guess what? Right now, he's the number 2. I'm just saying.
But it has to be. It has to be a guy who's going out there and getting you your 18 and 12, getting you your stocks. He has to be out there putting it in. This isn't a situation where, you go out there and shout out to Paul Reed, but if Paul Reed gets us a double-double, it's not going to be the same type of double-double that we know Jalen Duren can get us. And that's where I'm like, it has to be that one where we see him taking that next step up in these playoffs, knowing that if he does, he gives us a team a chance to do more than just get busy versus the Knicks.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And Wheezy D313, and we're going to talk about more keys as time goes on, but he comes up with a good one. Box Josh Hart out. Yes.
Yeah.
Box Hart. Josh Hart is
box him out, run him off the three-point line. Yeah. Don't let him in anywhere into the paint.
Yeah, but Josh Hart, he's the best rebounding perimeter player in the NBA, probably, unless if I'm forgetting someone obvious.
Yeah.
It's one of those back-breaking type players who you're right, man.
He's damn good.
Yeah, you defend Jalen Brunson, you run off a three-point shooter,
jump shot.
You get Cat to miss it off the back rim, and all of a sudden he's that guy that gets the ball back and puts it in. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's actually a really good one from Weezy D313.
Very good.
Super Bowl Cartier, please no Fontecchio.
Oh yeah, he ain't getting no minutes in the fucking playoffs. He might, but
what? Nobody for Fontecchio.
You getting them dark,
bro? Come on, you can't even say it with a straight face.
Come
on. You can't say that shit with a straight face.
I glanced over and Flannel was like,
that?
"Don't even do it."
Yeah,
I feel like
Fontecchio buckets.
We might. It's the Simone buckets. Yeah.
No.
The new human victory cigar. There we go. How about that?
Yeah, no, I'm good on Fontecchio. He good.
If we see
Tech 19 is good.
If
Fontecchio getting those Darko minutes. I'm sorry, you getting in the last 2 minutes of the game.
They
That's
gonna
it.
break
Well,
his
we
hand.
know we got everything wrapped up.
hopefully there's some blowouts so that we see
Talk about a
Fontecchio.
breakout star candidate. Fontecchio, anyone? Anyone taking that bet? Anybody? No.
What is that? Plus 30,000 to bet on Caesars right now?
Yeah.
Plus 30,000 for him to score 10 points period in the series, probably.
Jesus.
Gracious.
Maybe that's a little bit too harsh, but
Nah.
That's probably
I
right.
don't think it is.
he is the only person on this team that's had a bad year.
Yeah.
The only one.
I'm really hoping it's just associated to that foot surgery, man, because he has not been the same since then. I really am.
That's fine. Y'all come up with the excuses. I don't know if he played his way into another contract with the Pistons. I'm just saying.
It might be tight, man, unless it's one of those end of the rotation. But
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It
by
is
the
what
way,
it is,
shout
man.
out Lindy Waters for his clutch 3 yesterday.
Goddamn. Shout out.
And of course, even in the damn backups game, we get to witness the Pat Connaughton legacy game. I'm like, what the?
Man,
What
we
in
knew
the
what that
world?
game was. It was no Cade and no Schroeder.
Obviously.
Yeah, once I saw that, I mailed it
They
in.
got my boy Toulouse
You already
Smith
know.
playing his
Right.
first Pistons game.
No.
Shout out to Toulouse Smith for the Motor City Cruise. So
Yeah, big shout out to the
Definitely.
crew.
100%. 100%. It was just kind of funny. It's like, Pat Connaughton, I didn't know you had it in you. Even though he was valuable on that Bucks championship
it
team.
shows you how tough like pro players are, man. Hey, it's
Short white guards go crazy on the Pistons for some reason because TJ McConnell always give us buckets, and I'm just like, what the hell is this?
He is the anti-flannel in terms of archetypal players that I like. Just a try-hard rat.
Yeah, my man on the Celtics, he always give us buckets. Like it's bad, bro. Short white guards against us, not good, not good.
man, dog. I'm sitting here right now. You about to maybe put some people on that LeBron James pantheon, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Desmond Bain is definitely there already. I'm tired of him.
Yeah, I'm tired of Desmond Bain too.
He always goes off.
Let's go. Hey, Flannel Sam with the Michigan sweats as well, man. Shout out to him and that Go Blue Love. But it's been a show, man. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. We had that dude Justin on. Congratulations
Shout
again
out.
to his Western Michigan Broncos for taking home the national championship for hockey, 6-2 over Boston University, a college that has a whole lot of banners. But Western Michigan, they do something great for the first time in their school history as it relates to this college hockey thing. And they, in my opinion, put themselves on the map in the state of Michigan, which is known for a lot of good collegiate and pro hockey. So I'm glad that you got to have the opportunity. You crushed it, man. Shout out to the new shows that have hit the network. Obviously, we got the new Lions show, the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday at 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hosted by Terry Foster and a cast that's going to be rotating. You're going to see different personalities from Woodward. You're going to see different personalities and media people from other sports outlets as well. So I can't wait. But what got this all started off, the pioneering of our ringside and our wings correspondents here. And they've been doing a great job at setting really the table and the standard for what we're going to be, man. So we're going to get this thing wrapped up. I want to make sure I shout out these people and JBSmooovv once again for everything you do for us, bro. But we got Kavasi Chase in the building. KG, what up, though, my brother?
Hey, feeling good. Skydog in here with the Wayne Gretzky hate, it looks like. Jeez, man.
Wow.
It's not the best look for you, but
He is an odd dude.
yeah. Shout out to everybody that joined us today. Absolutely appreciate it. Also, shout out to the love y'all gave Woodward ringside over the weekend as well. The views have been going up. We're seeing more engagement. Absolutely appreciate any contributions to that. And let's keep it rolling, man. Pistons in the playoffs, dog. It's crazy, bro. And they going to be on the same time as WrestleMania. That's going to present a problem for me. But if I have to choose my Pistons over WrestleMania, then that's what I'll do. So.
Man, we're going to have to we're going to have 2 screens up, man.
Yeah.
Look
at Flannel head. Flannel
With all due respect.
Here comes the fun,
Flannel
please.
always hating, bro.
Flannel.
God damn.
With all due respect, shout out Woodward ringside. Please tune in, everybody. But
It's fine. I'll have it on my phones, Flannel. Damn. Just shit on me and my dreams. God damn.
Shout out to this elite booth. Willie B in the sound booth, man. Hey, he was here yesterday at this time. You showed up today at this time. You serious about your opportunities, man. Shout out to you, Willie B.
Appreciate it, man. This is what you love to do. What you love to do. It don't feel like work. It feel like it's a fun day every day we go to Woodward Sports and the WUW Crew. Good atmosphere. Even though if I'm off of work or somewhere in one of my jobs and I see one of you guys, it's all love, man. And I just love the atmosphere, man. And it does. If you do what you love doing, good people come by and show you appreciation that you want it. Go somewhere that you want it, and show them that I'm here to help, and I'm here to make it better, and I want to make it. I would like to have good people. It's nothing like good people around here.
There's nothing like good people. Like
So
I
sweet,
talk
man.
all the time, man. I'm back
So
in this
sweet.
industry for the people, the connections, and the relationships,
Yep.
man. And because that, to me, that's the greatest thing. My beliefs is it's the only thing we can take with us to the beyond is the relationships we make with people, man. Hey, shout out to Woodward Sports MVP JBSmooovv. What up, though, brother? In the TD booth.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everyone staying tapped in with us today, as well as on Woodward Ringside this past weekend, as well as Fast and Loose with me and Chase. You know,
Fast
we got
Loose.
another
Loose
episode
and
coming
fast.
out probably tomorrow that we're going to record. Shout out to the Detroit Lions. Draft is almost here, everybody. Flannel, I will have the 2 TVs going downstairs, so Pistons will be on one, WrestleMania will be on another one as well too. But shout out to Detroit Lions. Over the weekend, some breaking news: Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas, the Lions hosted him, so might be a late round pick that they could be looking at wide receiver.
Yeah, Matthew Golden's not fallen to the second round, so
Oh boy,
maybe they're
Y'all stop it, bro.
we
Y'all
getting a
stop
wide
it with this
receiver in the
bullshit.
second.
Y'all stop it with this bullshit.
Are we doubling up?
KG.
Edge and wide receiver in the first.
Edge and wide receiver in the first.
No, people would love
Big
that.
trade.
As long as the edge get picked, people would love that. If
Big
the edge
trade.
goes first and then you get the receiver, they don't care.
Yeah.
They just fuck
yeah.
it. Like, you know, it is what it is.
Goodness, man. Hey, the vet of the squad, vet of the network, Go Blue lover, Red Wings correspondent. That's Flannel Sam. What up, though, brother?
Hey, by the way, shout out Jack White, Detroit's own Jack White.
Damn right.
Factual.
And shout out Willie
White
B too,
stripe.
because that event does not go off as smoothly without people like you, Willie. Because they are some maniacs out there.
Right. Willie securing this shit.
you know
holding it
better
down.
than
Top
me.
flight
Top flight security.
of the world, Willie.
Oh, most definitely.
And I love it too, man. T. Foss and them, they were like, you know what? They want his perspective on that Lions show too, since you've been in the midst of a lot of this stuff down there, man, within security and parking attendant and all that, man.
Had to do all jack of all trades, not a master of none. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
Top
man, you
flight.
master been a good dude, man. I'll definitely make sure I tip the cap to that.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to Willie B, man. But it's your boy Brandon, the AK Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Y'all have been on one chat family with the super chats, with the likes, and stay on that with the rest of Woodward Sports today. Big D Energy, Ermanni Edwards, and the heavyweights. Let's go, man. It's been a day. Have a blessed one.